Greetings, my excellent friends. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and all that. This, it's dusk, magic hour, as we in the trade call it, and the time is actually 5:35, and this is going to be on in the background here. Do we remember Team GB? Do we remember? Oh boy, do I remember. London 2012. Best Olympic Games ever. Bar none. End of. You'd think we invented discus and javelin. The opening ceremony, Super Saturday, the closing ceremony, the Paralympics have followed this. West Ham's very own home ground, aren't we lucky to have the Legacy Park? Because I honestly think if we're going to stay in it, it needs a whole top-down refresh, revamp, and I'm voting Legacy Park. Welcome to West Ham's home ground, Stratford Legacy Park. What do you reckon? It's got a ring to this year's. Look at that sunrise over Stratford Olympic Stadium. Queen Elizabeth II's Olympic Park as it goes. I'm not suggesting for a minute we dub that. I just think Legacy Park's got a lot more. Meant to be a lot snappier, but yeah. So I get quite musical as the sun's setting. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. My secret identity, my super secret superhero power. In actual fact, you know, like Peter Parker got bit by an irradiated spider from another dimension, and Daredevil got all gunk sprayed in his eyes. Interesting sidebar, there is a commonly held, not necessarily, it was kind of rarely held, folkloric urban myth that connects the stuff that Daredevil gets sprayed in his eyes in downtown New York and the very same ooze that mutated to Ninja Turtles. That's just a sidebar. But we're rambunctious. Spidey got bit by the radiated Spider-Man. What? Have a guess. Just have a guess. I'm not a werewolf. I've never been bitten by a wolf. I've been bitten by a dog, but I'm not quite a were-dog. Right? When I was 3 in the year 1980, very long time ago, at least 400 to 500 years ago that was, I'm sure of it. And when I was 3 years old, I was being held aloft like a magic sword that said, by the power of Grayskull, aka my mum, or Evil Lynn, if you will, from the He-Man universe. Her name's actually Lynn. She's not evil, but it just connected nicely. My mum's holding me up at a petting zoo. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, narrow the field. It's a petting zoo. It's nothing special. There aren't lions and tigers and bears, oh my. I'm going to give you one. Guess what bit me? If all I can do is to sit on my hands and bite my tongue to not sing every sunset. And what do I do every sunrise? Sing like a bird release, lovely sea tune. I wish I had it to bung on straight now. I was feeding a cockatoo, right? Now, the whole of Australia knows. The whole rest of the world should reckon. You'd instantly recognise a cockatoo, whatever you call it in your own language. Everybody knows the attitude of a cockatoo, right? I'm feeding this cockatoo, right? I don't know you're ever going to be able to see it, possibly in silhouette. and the creature's eating these peanuts. I'm 3 years old, and Mum must have smushed me in against the bars. I was like, no, I'm joking, Mum. And this cockatoo went chomp. You see, there's a bit of a bubble on this finger here. It's got like a kind of square edge to it, isn't it? On this far side. If you were to get up close and personal, it is in actual fact a scar where a cockatoo the size of a 3-year-old and intellect of a 3-year-old, they reckon, was smart enough to realise that he could get a juicy bit of iron with his peanuts. I don't blame the cockatoo that bit me for biting me. I don't blame my mum for, having a conniption fit, and I can vaguely remember an ambulance and lots of blood and bandages. But there, you might be able to see it better in the light there, look. See that raised sort of blob here? Here, in the petting zoos of England. So this cockatoo took a big bite out of me. They didn't put it down, because even though it was like a man-eater after that, I'm sure he already had a taste. Any parrot owners out there, I've never owned a parrot, love to, but I'm sure any parrot owners out there will tell you, once they've got a taste for something, probably, he's probably done it to everyone, and was just absorbing all their DNA and getting even smarter, because that's what parrots are, super smart anyway. So, yeah, I'm a were-cockatoo, okay? There's a joke in there somewhere about seen a cockatoo, have you not? My love. Ba-boom-cha. But have you not seen a cockatoo? Brave it. Brave it, cockatoo. Type in cockatoo to the search engine Brave. Got a lion for its insignia. And click on images and cockatoos will appear. These beautiful white plumed birds with great big yellow feathers that sit flush to their head. Mostly, but you cheese off a cockatoo. You're going to get the Steve Irwin treatment, aren't you? You're going to get, crikey, she's grumpy. And they're amazing dancers like I am. See, now I didn't realise I wasn't an amazing dancer when I was 2.5, but like 3 and a bit with this huge bandage on my hand, I'm busting moves like Fred Astaire on the dance floor. Murder on the dance floor. You better not kill the groove, DJ. It's just, Yes, call tails. Always call tails, ladies. Because me and that crown are already like that. Let's just say the best place was kept by the fire for the storyteller. Yes. So, my little kindlings, what did we think of that? Did we think that was a fib? Sounded like a very, very tall tale to me. And a good excuse for making as much blasted noise as he was allowed to. Whatever became of Mr. Unlikely and his cockatoo story? Perhaps we'll never find out. And perhaps that's half the fun. Did he sprout feathers and fly off back to the jungle? Or did he just nail file his beak and claws a little bit and carry on about his day, nibbling at nuts in his coat pockets? I've heard a lot of things, but I've never heard of a were-cockatoo. My goodness, don't be took, and don't be mistook, kindlings. There's a difference, you see. Don't get took, but never get mistook. Isn't that right, Sprocket? Sprocket, where is that dog? So it simply remains for me to produce the finest 50 pence I can produce. And at one point I knew exactly where it was. Perhaps instead we shall use one of my 3 lucky 20p pieces. Do you see? So let's me and you imagine that we're having a game. The prize? Oh, I should say another tale or two. But the price to play? Well, call. Now, what did I just tell thee? And did you take the storyteller's advice? Because ladies and jelly spoons, ladies, it was tales, and I try not to lie. Although sometimes when people ask me questions that involve their feelings, I'm never so sure as to where to put myself. Questions such as, does my bum look big in this? Storyteller? Well, so tales it is. And tales in Magic Hour are the kind of tales that are either instantly forgettable or indelible and will last in your memory forever. Which is it to be, or would you like a cocktail of the two in one tale? I think those who remember this tale well will do well to remember it well to others who might remember it well. And those who wake up and forget the lesson that they should have learned when they met the Minotaur, say, in the labyrinth, or the giant up his beanstalk. For those of you who would trivialise the nursery rhyme and ignore the folk tales of olden times, well, you're all doomed to die, aren't you? Not so those who remember and are well remembered. And so this following story is about a fella called John. Last name, you ask me? Well, perhaps you could guess. I'll give you a clue. Ouch! It was a clue. I don't have mice. I wish I did. Well, some of you must have had 3 shredded wheat this morning. John Hurt. Some in the village called him John and others called him Johnny. I would like to have called him Jay, because I think he'd found it funny. Now, Johnny Hurt became a sir, a knightly one he were, and all the while he carried on the silver screen. What happened then? Johnny Hurt was terrible and cruel. Something he'd ate, not on his plate, went crunch down one of his tubes, or something like that. Wriggled like a cat in a bag being slung to the nearest canal. And so poor Johnny Hurt, spread-eagled at work, felt things start to crunch, to crack, and to burst. And then up it sprang like a cactus from Mars and shot out of his chest, off into the stars. Poor Johnny Hurt, all hollow inside, his chest was destroyed. That's how Cain died. So, kindling, if you look up Johnny Hurt, he was an amazing fella. And this is only the beginning of my attempts at resurrecting the man without getting all weird and dead-headed Disney uncanny valley necromancy, dirty nasty. All I've got to do, cover my face up with Tom Baker's Doctor Who scarf, wear Sylvester McCoy's trilby. Lo and behold, it's only the bloody War Doctor back for a new movie, followed by a series and another movie, followed by a series and then another movie. Perhaps we'll stick at a sequel and that'll do. Who wants to do trilogy movie number 2? And so it remains to be said to you, night, little kindlings. Out goes the light, off goes the sun, what dried up all the rain. Itsy Wincy Spider can come back out again. Interesting sidebar. I like to always stop on the way home at my favourite red pill box. You know, you put the letters in. Mr. Bean can fit inside one excellently well. He is my favourite because he's really on the list. He looks like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, basically. So you can imagine a big red letterbox. Instead of at this angle, he's like that. But he's not wobbly, like a wobbly tooth. He is rock solid in the ground at that angle. So I always like to go and high-five him, give him a cuddle, slap him, right? I stopped on my way back from the garden centre today and I've gone, and I promise you, a spider the size of a marrow-fat pea went on a bit of thread and landed on the pillbox, and I went, okay, well, that's tuppence for the ride. You can live in the letterbox now, Mr. Spider. And I ran away, nearly screaming like Miss Muffet. No word of a lie. Okay, he wasn't that big. He was bigger than a money spider, you know, and that's enough. I knew there was something on me and all. So he now lives in my favourite letterbox, and I'm sure I can write there, worms, scritchlings, I don't write that. I'm an author and a writer and journalist by trade. You think I can find a pen? Think I'll find a pencil when I need one? Say it, don't spray it. Do you know what I mean? Right. Have a great evening. I'll wind down now maybe, or end up doing another one of these singing Bowie, no doubt, okay? But for now, long live the King, God save the Queen, and rule Britannia.